has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
All right, so you're going to want to get the SportsGrid app on iOS or Android. It's free. You're going to love it. You can watch the network, listen to the network, follow your favorite hosts. It's got in-game odds. It's got everything. The SportsGrid app, free. Get it today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Did you know we're streaming on X? We're streaming right now, as a matter of fact. We're always streaming on X at SportsGrid-Live. You can get the Ferrall Coast to Coast and Ferrall on a Bench podcast Monday through Friday on iTunes or wherever you download podcasts, both shows. Let's take a look at the lineup tonight on SportsGrid TV. At 6, it's Front Office Sports. Today, at 6:30, it's GTD, Game Time Decisions with the Kevin Walsh. At 8, it's the original OG In-Game Live with Scott Wetzel and Dave Sherapan. At 10, it's Sports Rage with Morency. On SportsGrid Radio, it's The Institution. At 8 to 10, Carver and Lisi. All of it. SportsGrid TV, SportsGrid Radio, the only way to go. All right, so we're into hour number 2, and we're talking about the NBA Finals, which start Thursday. What do you got for Game 1 at the Paycom in OKC, where they are difficult customers to deal with on their home floor?
They are difficult customers to deal with, especially on their home floor. Let's give you some of the numbers for game number 1 and the series. All right, game 1, Thursday night. How about this? 9.5 I've got at this very moment. 9.5, minus 9.5 for the Thunder, and a healthy total. 231.5 for an NBA final game. How about that?
Yeah, I guess my initial thought would be they're gonna let it all hang out on Thursday. They're gonna just play, and these teams are run and gun. They're gonna go up and down. I could see the over happening. I still like the Thunder, and I like the Thunder in the series. It's all Thunder all day, every day, always. That's that. Now I'll take each game individually as we go, but they're plus 24 in their building. So, 9 is nothing compared to what they're capable of doing to you in their building. I mean,
That's
to me,
true.
they're 12 to 20 in every game, 12 to 20. So 9 to me is almost like, okay, that's a blue light special. I got to get in on that. That's a sale down at Macy's. Let's go.
Yeah, I know I got a couple days here. I'm going to chew on it a little bit. It's so big, right? 9, it's such a monstrous number. But on the other side of the coin, they've just smashed teams at home. Everybody that gets put on, they just smash them. So I want to take the 9.5, but my guess is that by Thursday, I'm going to be talked into laying it with the Thunder. I mean, that's just kind of where
something.
I feel like I'm going to be going by then.
The first game's always the best. There's something about it. Remember the Knicks and Pacers? It was 138, 135 overtime, whatever it was. It was this crazy game. They were up 17 or whatever, and they blew it. They lost, and it was just the best game. None of the other games compared to it. None of them. So it could end up being the best game. I think it's going to be a wild game. I think they're not going to be as tight defensively in game 1. I think they're going to run and gun. And then I think as it goes, it's going to tighten up and ratchet up the defense.
And the only game that Denver got him at home was the first game. Maybe there's something to get him in the first game and not even beat him, but at least have a competitive game. 9.5 is such a boatload
I also
of
think
points.
Denver is better than the Pacers. I think Joker is better.
Right.
I think Gordon's better, and I think Murray's better. And I think that's a better. The West is better. So you're talking about, okay, the Pacers are really good. They're not that good.
Well, that's the thing. And Denver also presented a different game style for Oklahoma City, which was proved to be tough for them. It was the toughest anybody's played them. Whereas the Pacers are going to be presenting the same exact thing that they do, except Oklahoma City does it 10 times better. So that just really is where it is the cause for concern.
You said it, right? 10 times better. It's not even 5 times better or 3. You just said it.
10
times better. Now, I don't know about that. I just know that you're right about one thing. They do it better. And they are the best run and gun team, transition team, defensive team, scoring team, points allowed team in the league. So, they were first in everything for a reason, not because it was like a fallacy or some kind of it was wrong or that it couldn't possibly be and all this other bullshit. They got it done the entire year and in the playoffs their way by kicking everyone's ass.
And that's why also for the series, they are such an enormous favorite. I mean, minus 750 for the series. In fact, this made the list. The largest betting favorites in NBA Finals history. I saw this list on here. Look at this. 2001 Lakers, 2018 Warriors, 96 Bulls, 99 Spurs, Lakers in 2000 and 2002, and then the 25 Thunder. All of those teams on that list, Scotty, won the NBA Finals except one, the 2004 Lakers, who lost to the Pistons. They were minus 700. Everyone else on that list won.
That was when Isaiah played with a broken ankle, right? And dragged himself on the floor.
No, that was 2000. This was the 2004. That was the Laker team that had Gary Payton and Karl Malone and all those guys. And the Pistons came in with all those no names and beat the hell out of them. And Ben Wallace and all those guys came in and smashed them. That was the 2004 Pistons.
Okay, well, I think that you still have to lay it. It's simple. It's simple for me. There's no way to make money here with that kind of number. But if you're gonna do it, I don't think you should. I really don't feel good about going for it because a lot of times you'll see, well, I gotta jump on that number at 5:30 or whatever because it's just so enormous. I'm gonna make all this money. No, you're not. So you might as well just lay the 750 and do it. Lay it twice, lay it three times, whatever you got to do to make money because they're going to win.
Like I said, good thing is we've got a couple of days. I mean, I'm not going to play that straight series price like you and Gabe were talking about earlier. I'm going to do a lot of digging the next few days. And I like to find a lot of silly things, whether that's the series spread, getting 2.5 games, who's going to have the most points. I'll find some other ways to have fun in this because I know Oklahoma City's winning. I'm laying 750.
Yeah,
so I'll find
I'm tripping
ways
because of the years I was talking about. You told me that was in 2004, that Pistons team. I know, obviously I remember when Isaiah Thomas played. I just remember, I remember that series more than I remember the one where the Hack team won with Wallace and them. I'll never forget watching Isaiah Thomas play basketball at Indiana or in the NBA with the Pistons or winning championships. I just thought he was unbelievable, and especially for his size. What was he, all of 6'1"?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much that's all that he was. But yeah,
I think he's the smallest guy to ever win it as a point guard.
I believe so, considering where he was there. Yeah, the Pistons beat the Lakers that year in 5. Chauncey Billups, Ben Wallace.
Chauncey. That's when I came up with the 4-point Chauncey shot in my driveway. You're right. 04.
And that was obviously the Lakers were such heavy favorites because that was the year they built the super team. Peyton and Malone were at the end of their careers trying to get a ring. Shaq and Kobe were still together. That was a big Laker team, and they got smashed by the Pistons. They lost in 5 in that series. So nice job there. All right, we'll come back, and I'll finish the NBA by at least letting you say goodbye to the Knicks and hearing from Jalen Brunson and Tom Thibodeau as they head into the offseason. You got to at least say goodbye to them before they go away. So we'll do that.
I got to listen to them all cry about what?
Well,
they didn't
not
get it
so
done?
much the crying. Looking to next year, all of those things. It was the best Knicks season in 25 years. Now that
Do you think we'll wait 25 more years for him to go back to an Eastern Conference final? Because we just waited 25 years.
Not if the pattern stays. I'll tell you about it when we come back. The last 3 years, when you lose in the East Finals, you make the NBA Finals the next year.
They make it to the NBA Finals the next year, except the Knicks.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
And if you go through CAT, that means CAT at 11-1 could be Eastern Conference Finals MVP. The worst team in the WNBA is the Chicago Sky. They have no perimeter play. They're playing Sloot too many minutes. And Angel Reese doesn't have the help she needs.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
I actually like the fact that they went 7 games against a quality opponent here and still had to face adversity even in a game number 7. How are we setting up this next series where they rested Minnesota Timberwolves team taking on OKC fresh from the fight here?
They had an extremely, maybe it's just too strong a statement to say, easier pathway than people thought, particularly because of their size.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, so yeah, you said the last 3 teams that lost in the East Finals, what? They all made it to the finals the next year?
Yes, they did. The Heat lost in 22, made the finals the next year. Celtics lost in 23, made the finals and won the following year. And then the Pacers lost in the finals last year and now find themselves in the NBA Finals. So I guess that means get the Knicks to win the East now, right? For next year? We'll get that bet in for next year now? They got to follow this pattern, right? Might as well put the ticket in. No, you don't believe. No.
I've watched them lose for 30 years. They're not winning anything.
Look, I also think that you're going to see a lot of, I know that all the insiders or people of importance have already started to say how there's going to be so much player movement this offseason and there's just going to be a shift in the league and everybody. So, I mean, I don't want to get ahead of any of that either. You never know what's going to happen all throughout the NBA. The East might get stronger depending on what goes on. That's for sure. Brunson finished the playoffs with 29.4 points per game, 3.4 boards per game, 7 assists per game. He shot 36% from 3. He had a really good playoff, Jalen Brunson. He had a really bad game 6 on Saturday night. Here he was after being asked if Tom Thibodeau is the right guy to lead the Knicks moving forward.
Jalen, when you talk about the confidence, obviously, I feel like nobody takes more criticism than Tom. And this team obviously has turned around during his tenure. Do you kind of feel that going forward he's the same guy to lift you guys the rest of the way, that next level?
Is that a real question right now? You just asked me if I believe that if he's the right guy. Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah, I really don't see what is so bad about the question. Like, he acts like he offended him. And let me talk about, like, I've already said this before. I mean, I got to tell you, like, to me, 36% from downtown is kind of ass. And I also think his turnovers were just unbelievable. And he's a flopper. He plays no defense. And all they do is show his offensive numbers. And we know why he gets those numbers. He's a great player, a great scorer. There's no doubt about it. He's a great actor. He's a flopper, and he gets to the line a lot. He gets a lot of calls. There is no getting around that he has game. But you can't sit there and brag to me about all those numbers when you don't win and you don't stop anybody. I mean, his defense is porous, and that's all there is to it. So when people ask him about his coach, like, I think it's a fair question. And I guarantee other people are going to talk about it, whether or not he's going to stick. And I already said earlier on the show, I think that, and I said this last week, I don't think he should go anywhere. The guy's won 56% of his games in New York over 5 years. Do you realize that, like, if a guy in the NBA hits 51, it's like gold. In betting, if you're at 53, you're making money. All these people around here acting like they're hitting 75, 85, 90% of their bets. They're all liars. They're just lying through their teeth. They never talk about their lost tickets and their ripped tickets. All we ever hear about is how wonderful everyone is. Well, let's talk about how horrible the defense was. Let's talk about, like, they played no defense. That's why they lost. I don't care what he thinks. Like, you don't like the question, you're going to get up and leave the room? Like, let's talk about your bunk-ass defense, because all he does is flop. He don't stop nobody. Ever.
And that was also like his, the way he answered that question, that was kind of how he answered everything. Like, he wasn't in the mood for any of it, obviously, after losing on Saturday night.
Well, that's why I say, why interview the losers? It's a waste of time. They never say anything. It's a gigantic, cluster F, and no one, gets anything out of it ever. And, you're listening to some morbid coach talk about how much he loves his guys. No guys I'd want to go to battle with more than the guys in that room right now. And right now it's a little tough, but I love everyone. And they were there with me all year. And there's no one I'd rather go to battle with. Oh. Is there anything worse than the interview with the loser in the hallway after the game? I mean, there's nothing worse in sports. Who cares what the loser has to say?
Tibbs is going to be more looking ahead, obviously, of what you need to do now to get better. It's going to be a very busy offseason for the Knicks.
Tom, what do you feel like are those next steps you guys have to make?
And again, like you would do after every season, you take a step back, I think decompress, you do a deep dive on the team, and then you analyze what you think you need to improve upon. And then, we have the draft, and then we have free agency, and there's trades, and then there's the internal development, and then it's the study and preparation for next season. And so it's a big off season for us.
Yeah, you think?
Listen, there's no getting around that. I think that I said it in simpler terms earlier. They have to figure out what's missing, because it's not much. But they're definitely, to me, they were literally a 7-guy team, whereas the Pacers were a 12-guy team. So to me, they're missing at least 2 pieces that could do more for them at both ends of the floor. I don't think they legitimately have anyone, and I'm going to say this, Anunoby and Hart, to me, are the 2 best dogs on the floor for them defensively, without question. Now, people can say whatever they want about Josh Hart. I heard somebody say that he's going down the other side of the. I'm like, no, he's not. He's the same age as Brunson. They're not old. He's a double-double machine. He's had triple-doubles. He gets rebounds. I've never seen a guy 6'5" rebound like that before in my life. He plays with all heart, no pun intended, and I like his game. They need more players like him. I got to be honest with you. So make some trades and get players in that play defense, that, like a Hunter, some guy like that actually is a dog on the glass. And I got to tell you, excuse me, my mistake. Mitchell Robinson has to be mentioned defensively and on the boards, was the best player on the Knicks, hands down, and way better than Anunoby defensively and on the boards.
Falcons are actually relieved that he's kind of not there to create more of a distraction. Look, I mean, I said it the day it happened. It was one of the stupider decisions I've ever seen by a professional NFL franchise to sign a quarterback to a $180 million contract and then draft his replacement exactly 5 weeks later. This was a terrible organizational decision by the Falcons. Now, they're going to spin this, and this is what's annoying about the Falcons and their PR staff. They're going to spin this as if this is the plan we had all along. This is the plan that when, Kirk Cousins either got hurt or didn't play well or got too old, we were going to have Penix come in. And guess what? The new plan is now we're going to keep Kirk Cousins as a backup. So if Michael Penix gets hurt, we told you so. We were right for keeping him on the roster. We were smart for keeping him here. No, this whole thing has been an abject disaster.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interest in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Just so you know, Luke played in a qualifier this weekend in Atlantic City. It was the Tequila Open, actually. He, Carver High, I think shot a 1 over par. Not bad, considering he's like a 6 handicap. So he was down 5 shots, a 1 over par in qualifying. Although the Tequila Open only let in those under par. So he just missed at +1, but he got to drink a lot of booze, and there were a lot of women there. And then he apparently, word has it, my sources in Atlantic City said that he was seen at the craps table for over 18 consecutive hours at one point between Friday and Saturday night, somewhere in that Friday night to Saturday night, maybe 18 hours straight, something like that. I'm getting reports right now about Luke's behavior in Atlantic City. 5 a.m. Sunday, it appears that now I'm hearing that it was Saturday morning, not actually Friday night. It was already 4 in the morning. He went from 4 in the morning until it was almost 24 hours.
That is wild. Good for him. Get it. I know everybody wants the Tequila Open. Here's more wild stories from U.S. Open qualifying day. The longest day in golf. How about this? A high school junior. Get this. Mason Howell is a high school junior in Georgia. He is at the Georgia U.S. Open qualifying today as
junior
an amateur.
Golf.
He's currently shooting 15 under.
What?
Through 28 holes. He's got 8 holes to go. He is beating the field. He's up 3 on the next closest guy. He's up 8.
Going to the U.S. Open.
This high school junior is getting close to locking up a spot in the U.S. Open. Just absolutely smashing everybody at the Georgia
qualifier.
Rooting
for now, the kid in high school, a junior. He's
Mason
he could be dating
Howell.
my daughter. What's his name? Thurston Howell.
Mason Howell. Yeah, Mason Howell is the kid from Georgia. 16 under, Luke says. He just made another birdie.
And I was pulling for Luke at +1. I mean, honestly.
Oh, that is nuts. Last few NBA things. The Phoenix Suns head coaching job is allegedly down to Cavaliers.
I had to send you this.
Actually, It's allegedly down to both Cavalier assistants, Johnny Bryant and Jordan Ott. So it sounds like the Cavs are going to lose an assistant coach one way or the other.
Who? I thought you were talking about Thomas Bryant there for a second.
At least it's not Fizdale. I mean, there was thought they were going to have another interview with Fizdale.
Your boy did.
At least they got somebody else in there for that. I'll actually skip ahead to this one. The Utah Jazz hired Danny Ainge's son, Austin Ainge, away from the Celtics. He was working for the Celtics, of course. Danny used to work for the Celtics, but now that he's CEO of the Jazz, he's hired his son to be the president of basketball operations.
Wow,
for
nepotism city, huh? I mean, it's all, he got him his job in Boston, and now he's the president of the Jazz. Now his dad's the CEO. I'll tell you this much. I have never seen anyone in my life build a cupboard more than Danny Ainge when it comes to draft picks. He's the best. Best there ever was.
He's very good at it, that's for sure. And finally, I kind of told you this earlier, but sounds like this is getting close. Harlan is going to be part of the Amazon Prime NBA coverage next year. So, of course, there's no more TNT. All the TNT guys have been filtered to all the new outlets, and it sounds like Harlan will be on Amazon. I think Van Gundy's going to Amazon, too, if I remember correctly. Your boy Stan. So they'll be together. They're going to lose Reggie, though. Everybody, exactly. Talking about television announcers. Now that TNT is finished, everybody's very happy. So there you go. That's all your basketball for today. We will come back, and I've got so much baseball to get to you from the weekend, and then I've got a bunch of games tonight. Hey, get used to it.
Get used to it. I mean, we're going to be filling up baseball like no other.
A lot of baseball coming your way. You're about to hit that stretch. Only 2 teams left in the NBA and the NHL. It's getting there, baby.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming around the corner. Lots of baseball till training camp to get you there. Don't even have a World Cup or a Euro this year either to get us through with the soccer.
I haven't, but we have the Club World Cup, and I'll tell you what, I have not watched 5 seconds of the French Open.
Oh, my God. Well, all these Americans made the quarters, right? And then they all started losing. They all made the quarters, and now they're all losing once they got there. So the French Open's becoming a disaster, too.
Falcons are actually relieved that he's kind of not there to create more of a distraction. Look, I mean, I said it the day it happened. It was one of the stupider decisions I've ever seen by a professional NFL franchise to sign a quarterback to a $180 million contract and then draft his replacement exactly 5 weeks later. This was a terrible organizational decision by the Falcons. Now, they're going to spin this, and this is what's annoying about the Falcons and their PR staff. They're going to spin this as if this is the plan we had all along. This is the plan that when, Kirk Cousins either got hurt or didn't play well or got too old, we were going to have Penix come in. And guess what? The new plan is now we're going to keep Kirk Cousins as a backup. So if Michael Penix gets hurt, we told you so. We were right for keeping him on the roster. We were smart for keeping him here. No, this whole thing has been an abject disaster.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple 18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interested in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Mafia just told me in the break that my comments are not funny and that they're mean in general in nature, and that I'm, as he said many times, a horrible human being.
Well, some people do say that about you. It is what it is.
It's okay.
Some
It's okay.
people-
Just let them say whatever they got to say to make them feel better.
Yeah. The main thing is now that you just let it roll off your back. That's really all that you can do
I
at this
try.
point. You can't get upset about it.
I just want everyone to be happy.
You just got to roll with the punches, baby, and just keep on moving.
Yeah.
That's all that you can continue to do.
Take the bullets.
You said it before the break. Get ready. A lot of baseball headed your way. It's baseball time, baby. The Yankees avoided the sweep in Los Angeles against the Dodgers last night. 7-3 win. Ryan Yarbrough, how about that guy? Giving him 6 strong innings out in L.A. The big blow, though, little Rice-A-Roni treat on ESPN.
0-2, center field, squared up. Edman is just watching this thing. Wow! Dead central, touch him all time, Ben Rice. Security blanket for Judge. He now has a dozen, and the Yankees go back on top.
I got to be honest that I really love that kid. I think he could hit. I almost keeled over when I saw DJ LeMahieu have 4 hits in a game. I literally, it was the most stunning thing I've seen in sports in 2 years. Seeing that guy have 4 hits in a game, honestly. And the other thing that I enjoyed was watching Yamamoto suffer all night. He couldn't do anything. He was in trouble with every single guy. He was on a 3-2 count with every guy, literally, and he'd literally be 0-2, and he'd still end up with a full count. Yamamoto did not have it. He's their best pitcher, and at least I got to enjoy that after watching them blow Friday, get absolutely, their teeth kicked in on Saturday. As I'm watching the Knicks bend over. I mean, it was KY Jelly night at the OK Corral. At least Sunday, I sat back and watched the Yankees win on Sunday Night Baseball. Thank God. Sunday, can I have any happiness? Honestly, between the Pirates and the Knicks, and I mean, honestly, I can't take it.
Yeah, you did get some. You got to have some happiness at some point, wherever that is going to be. DJ LeMahieu had 4 hits in the game. That was the first time since 2021 he's done that. Hopefully that means he's back on the gas. That would hopefully be what that means if he's actually getting 4 hits in a game. Of course, we said this last week. The talk is that Jazz will be back maybe at the start of this homestand tomorrow, and that he'll be playing third, and they'll keep DJ at second. If he's going to get 3 or 4 hits every night, I guess that's palatable if he's going to do that. But
you're not gonna. Are you going to tell me that you think that? Because, I don't think he's the worst fielder I've ever seen in my life, LeMahieu.
I just don't think he can hit anymore.
Well, I just saw him have 4 hits. He actually has been hitting the ball hard since he came back, and he has been injured forever. And obviously, you and I are both on the same page with the leaded fuel. I think that if this guy can get me 1 hit a night, 1 hit in 5 at-bats, I'll take it. Because I don't think he's going to be a gigantic error, commode at second or third. And obviously they're going to play Jazz at third, so put him at second. I don't have a problem with that guy at second base. I didn't have a problem when didn't they used to stick him over at first base? I don't care where they put him. If he can give me a hit or two, I told you, last night, the biggest shock for me was not them losing Saturday 18-2. It was having that guy have 4 hits in a baseball game for the first time in 4 years.
Yeah, and look, if he's going to get 4 hits, then he can stay in the lineup. I just, I don't necessarily believe it.
I don't deny he sucks, but maybe it's because of all the injuries. He legitimately, he goes, I never believed, because the guy was always injured, and I'm like, this guy's the worst player ever. Now he comes back. Can he stay healthy? And can he actually get the wood on the ball? Because this guy, when he was, obviously, you and I both think he was juicing. Nobody can prove that. But when he led the league in hitting, how do you lead baseball in hitting, and then all of a sudden you're a 196 hitter? I don't understand that. You had to be on juice to be that good of a hitter, and then that bad of a hitter. It makes no sense to me. How could you be that? That's like telling me Tony Gwynn would hit around 400, and then all of a sudden he's hitting 180. I mean, how do you explain that? It's inexplicable. Okay, so I need this guy to hit 250. Is it that hard to just start knocking in runs and getting a couple singles every night? Because he used to be a singles hitter. He would just get the ball on the bat, and he would get on base. And then he turned into this terrible player. You can't deny. You and I watched him go down the drain together, right on this show. We saw him go down the drain.
Awful. Hopefully he's back. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. That's for sure. On the Dodgers side,
you don't believe though for a minute that he's gonna.
I don't believe it for a second. I don't believe it for a second. Ohtani throws another bullpen, takes another step towards big league pitching return. Whatever. I guess Ohtani will be there at some point.
Aren't they playing the Mets now?
4 games with the Mets starting tonight at Chavez Ravine.
Do the Dodgers ever play on the road ever, or do they play 140 home games?
Well, they were.
I thought that was the Rays that played all home games.
They were weren't they just at Citi Field a week or two ago against the Mets?
No.
They just played the Mets, I think.
No, they weren't.
It does seem like they play a lot of home games.
All home games.
They play a lot of games at home.
All home games.
Rangers beat the Cardinals 8-1. Great pitching performance again by Jacob deGrom yesterday for Texas. Red Sox beat the Braves 3-1. Garrett, don't call me Davy Crockett because my name is Crochet. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, a season high, 12 strikeouts. Your boy's ERA is now 1.98. What a year. Too bad the rest of the team stinks.
Yeah. Listen, I have no problem at all watching their disintegration and their problems with Devers. And then you know what's funny about Crochet? He was this good in Chicago on the South Side, but the problem was they never scored runs for him either. And I actually think he's doing great in Boston. Too bad they aren't. So it's almost like the same nightmare all over again, right?
And there are clips circulating that out at Fenway, this was 25 minutes ago, that Devers had a glove and was taking grounders out on the field. So I know this has been like a 3-month saga of Rafael Devers with the Red Sox. He's apparently got a glove out on the infield today in batting practice. I'm watching a clip of it right now. He's out there in a sweatshirt and has a glove fielding ground balls. So maybe they have come to maybe the Cold War between
Rafael. He pulls his groin, leaning over for a hot grounder.
The Orioles beat the White Sox 3-2. They swept them the whole weekend. That is the first sweep of the season for the Orioles. And they needed it.
Around.
The Brewers swept the Phillies this weekend in Philadelphia yesterday. Jake Bauers coming off the bench in the 7th on FanDuel Sportsnet.
Bats ended in a homer. And a line drive down the right field line. It's in the corner. That'll score at least 1. Contreras is on the move. He will score. Bauers a pinch hit, 2-run double to give the Brewers the lead.
Oh, did you hear that? Isn't there anything better than when you hear them coming out of the Boo Birds in Philly, turning on the Fighting Phils, turning on them on June 1st. And then that was yesterday. So the whole weekend they lost, and now it's June 2nd, and you're hearing Boo Birds in Philadelphia at the bank. Isn't that lovely? I don't have a problem with that either.
Yelich left the game for Milwaukee, got hit in the hand by a pitch. X-rays were negative. The Phillies are expected to get Harper back tomorrow. He obviously missed the entire weekend after he got hit last week in the elbow by Strider. So it looks like Harper's going to be back for the Phillies tomorrow.
Yeah, he's going to be back, so
we'll see. More baseball in a little bit, I think, and Scoop Mish. Don't forget him, too.
What?
Falcons are actually relieved that he's kind of not there to create more of a distraction. Look, I mean, I said it the day it happened. It was one of the stupider decisions I've ever seen by a professional NFL franchise to sign a quarterback to a $180 million contract and then draft his replacement exactly 5 weeks later. This was a terrible organizational decision by the Falcons. Now, they're going to spin this, and this is what's annoying about the Falcons and their PR staff. They're going to spin this as if this is the plan we had all along. This is the plan that when, Kirk Cousins either got hurt or didn't play well or got too old, we were going to have Penix come in. And guess what? The new plan is now we're going to keep Kirk Cousins as a backup. So if Michael Penix gets hurt, we told you so. We were right for keeping him on the roster. We were smart for keeping him here. No, this whole thing has been an abject disaster.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interest in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Him on Newswire. He's the legendary Scoop Mish, and he also does Marlins games on TV. He's very famous down in South Florida with all the old ladies. I used to be hated by those same old ladies when I lived in South Florida, and all the old men. They all hated me. I think the Herald called me Satan at one point. But I looked good in the picture, I thought, the day that they called me Satan. I thought I really had a glow to me. Anyway, Craig, it's good to see you. A lot of sweeps in baseball over the weekend. I'd say the one that excited me the most, to be honest with you, was what the Brewers did to the Phillies. I actually heard Boo Birds out all weekend at the bank, and I was enjoying it, actually.
Biggest surprise was seeing it depends on how you feel about the category WAR, but Jesus Luzardo of the Phillies had the number one WAR for all pitchers in the National League going into that series. He gave up 13 runs in one game, but Scott, it's really hard to identify a lonely series in May or June and think that that's a precursor to anything else. I guess the only thing is we got to look at Milwaukee as a team that's just never going to go away. I mean, this is 2 years in a row. You look right before this 7-game winning streak that they went on, and everyone's like, they're done. The Cubs are there. The Cardinals are ahead of them. Now, all of a sudden, the Brewers are right there again. It just doesn't matter who the manager is or who the talent is on that team. The Brewers are in it every year. So my biggest takeaway from them is just never count the Brewers out.
Yeah, and, the Cardinals have won tons of games, but yet they're still 4 deep of the Cubs. Have you been surprised by the Northsiders and Crow Armstrong in particular, who's put his name on a map this year, not only with his bat, but boy, is he something else in center field.
Yeah, at this point, I think you probably, I know the odds will state maybe Kyle Tucker has a better chance to win the MVP, although Ohtani's, as long as he's there, he's probably going to win it. But I would say that Pete Crow Armstrong probably should be number 2 in the National League. And look, the Cubs have made some really savvy moves over the last couple of years. They're doing this without Imanaga, who's been hurt too. So I definitely think they'll be in the mix. And I think that the Cardinals probably look like the most overrated team through the first 2 months of the season. I cannot imagine that they're going to continue to play this kind of baseball. And quite frankly, Scott, this is not the direction that they thought that they would be in this year. So I do expect some huge regression to come back from them in the second half. And I think if they're going to trade players, time is probably coming up pretty soon for them.
So the Mets beat the Dodgers, right, in 2 of 3 at Citi Field, I think, in late May. And now they start up out in Chavez Ravine, a big 4-game series tonight. And they've won, they just swept the Rockies, and they've won 8 of 10. How do you think they'll do out on the West Coast against them? I was watching and talking to Carver High. I was watching the Yankees and Dodgers, kind of over the weekend and watching them last night. And they're tough customers. They're hard to beat. I couldn't believe they beat Yamamoto. How do you think the Mets do this time out west as opposed to beating them twice at City?
Well, Scott, I don't know if you saw the news about a half hour ago. The Major League Baseball made the announcement that those 3 wins against the Rockies only count for half a win each. So I don't know if that's going to affect the upcoming series against the Dodgers. 9-50. All right.
Are you doing stand-up now on the side too down there?
It's been a while. It's been a while since we've been on. Mafia gave me some topics. I said, you know what? I'm going to build a comedy show around it. Look, there are some teams that can go toe-to-toe with LA, the Phillies, the Mets. I would have thought the Braves, honestly, with their pitching too. But look, it shouldn't be a surprise that the Mets can fight with some of the best teams in the league. They have the second highest payroll in baseball. So, yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a really good series. You just have to wonder, from a betting perspective, honestly, coming off the weekend that the Dodgers just had against the Yankees, how they may respond against the Mets. That was kind of their pinnacle of the season, winning 2 out of 3. So I give the Mets a good shot this week.
So a lot of people, I thought as well, that Arizona was going to be tougher than they are. They're kind of falling apart. I saw the Pirates beat them up for 19 runs in 2 days. I saw Gallen get lit up. This is a problem, right? Like, this team was kind of loaded with pitchers, and now Burns is elbow.
Right.
Is he not? Did he not just say Saturday he blew his elbow out?
It sounds like it. That could be something that they're not going to be able to overcome. I know they signed Eduardo Rodriguez a couple of years ago. He's been in and out, on and off the injured list. He'll come back, obviously. And, they haven't had Burns in the past, and they still did well. To me, that was one of the teams that I looked at and said that they underachieved through the first couple of months. And I still do like their team, and I like their organization. But losing Burns, if this is a season-long thing, and I'm not sure that it is, obviously. It's hard to speculate with the arm and stuff like that. But there's no replacing that guy. Just ask the Orioles, right? So, it remains to be seen if Arizona can get it done. I still think that, to me, the Diamondbacks are better than the Giants. I just don't know if they're better than the Padres. That would be the team that they'll have to fight back and forth with.
What do you think of Bubic and what Scooble we're used to? And Scooble's getting better than ever. I saw Greg Maddux talking about him in an article about how he's just getting better and better and learning that it's not just one Cy Young. He might win more of them. And what do you think of this kid Bubic in Kansas City?
He's been great too. Royal staff is really good. They get Caglione up now, and that's the big story of baseball today. How good can he be? The Royals did not wait any longer. June 1st, they called him up. 12-1 to win the Rookie of the Year, Scott, without playing a game in the first 2 months. You kidding me?
Right? So he was fantastic in AAA, right? Like, his numbers are staggering.
Let me repeat myself. He has not played a game. We're 2 months into the season, and FanDuel makes him 12-1 this morning because he's gotten called up. Help me understand this. He has the second shortest odds to win the Rookie of the Year of the American League. Jacob Wilson of the A's has played 2 months. He's hitting 320. I mean, it just tells you how the books got to protect themselves, I guess. But I mean, can a guy come up in June and win Rookie of the Year?
I mean, you got to be kidding me. Senga's got a nice ERA as well. I like watching him pitch. And Caminero, the guy the other night, how about that guy? 4 for 5, 2 home runs, 12 total bases. I mean, the guy's freaking out. Craig, congrats on the gig. I know you're doing great calling Marlins game. Now you're doing stand-up comedy. It's incredible. I hear that you're a quitter in the fantasy leagues. You gave up that because you're making so much money doing all this other stuff. Newswire's #1. Congratulations on all of it. I won't tell anyone I know that you're a quitter.
Thanks.
Falcons are actually relieved that he's kind of not there to create more of a distraction. Look, I mean, I said it the day it happened. It was one of the stupider decisions I've ever seen by a professional NFL franchise to sign a quarterback to a $180 million contract and then draft his replacement exactly 5 weeks later. This was a terrible organizational decision by the Falcons. Now, they're going to spin this, and this is what's annoying about the Falcons and their PR staff. They're going to spin this as if this is the plan we had all along. This is the plan that when, Kirk Cousins either got hurt or didn't play well or got too old, we were going to have Penix come in. And guess what? The new plan is now we're going to keep Kirk Cousins as a backup. So if Michael Penix gets hurt, we told you so. We were right for keeping him on the roster. We were smart for keeping him here. No, this whole thing has been an abject disaster.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 18.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Steelers' interested in Aaron Rodgers as a joke. Your boy went off about the entire situation and why it taken so long to forget him. Terry Bradshaw getting involved.
Yeah, and saying basically, what are you bringing him in for 1 year? All of this drama for 1 year at this guy, where he is now in his career is he's washed.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
All right, Carver High. We continue on our trek through baseball. Always love checking in with Scoop Mish.
Everybody does always love checking in on Scoop Mish. Jays beat the A's 8-4. They swept all 4 games over the weekend. The A's have all kinds of problems right now. I mean, they can't buy a win.
Jays are in second now. They
Jays
moved into second place.
They have. Cleveland beat Anaheim 4-2 yesterday. The Mets beat the Rockies 5-3. It was actually Little League Day for me. I was in attendance. The kids got to walk on the field before the game, and then they got to see the polar bear go deep on SNY.
And Alonso hits one in the air to deep right field. Back goes Freeman to the warning track near the wall. It's out of here! Pete Alonso goes the other way for a 3-run homer. And the Mets go in front 3-1.
I heard from my sources that Carver High actually, while being at Citi Field in Queens, obtained an itchy rash. Like every time I go near that ballpark, something bad happens. I could get like a stubbed toe, a rash. You could get like, earwax buildup, anything. I mean, there's a zit. There's potential for anything. So you went to like the enemy territory, pretending like you were, the father of the year, and you had to sit in that suffocation. You had to sit there with all those people. What could be worse? What do you mean, you people?
Yeah, the kids got there early. They let the Little League walk around the warning track from left field over to right field. So they had a good day. The kids had fun. I spent more time standing online for stuff.
How much
than
were
I
the
did actually
beers?
watching it. We got a can. It was a can of Surfside. It was like $22.50. It was like
what is happening here? What is
Surfside.
happening here?
Yeah, it was a Surfside. It was a sunny Surfside type of day out at Citi Field. Now like a can of Miller Lite was like, or Coors Light, I think it was like $17 or $18. It was somewhere around there for the cans of beer. So. It's expensive. Anywhere you go. If you want to get a cold one, you want to get a freshie, it's not easy. After their sweep, the Mets, and with the Phillies getting swept, the Mets are back in first place in the NL East. Congratulations to them. The Rockies continue to set records of the wrong kind. They are the fastest team to 50 losses in the modern era. They are 9-50. That's a tough scene, man.
What a disaster. You know what they should do? They should do quarter beers. And then they could draw some fans.
Yeah,
Remember
they should
disco
do
night
something.
and 10-cent beer night at Comiskey?
Yeah,
I mean,
they might need something in Colorado this summer. You mentioned Senga with Craig. He leads the NL with the 1.60. Peterson is fifth at 2.69. Giants beat the Marlins 4-2. Tigers beat the Royals 1-0. Some really good pitching with those two all weekend. Bubic was great yesterday in the loss. 7 innings, 1 run. He's got a 1.43. That leads all of baseball. Skubal pitched Saturday. He was ridiculous again. In his last 2 starts, 16 innings, no runs, 20 Ks, no walks, 184 pitches.
I mean, what in God's name is going on there? Like, this guy, no walks, no runs, 20 strikeouts. I mean, this guy is the most dominant pitcher in baseball, hands down. Not even close.
He leads the AL in strikeouts and whip, leads all pitchers in WAR. He's got 70 Ks in his last 7 starts. He's on a roll. Astros beat the Rays 1-0. You mentioned that Caminero game on Saturday for the Rays. 4 for 5 with 2 homers, 12 total bases. He's the first player in Rays history with 4 or more extra base hits and 5 or more RBIs in a game. He's been good to us on the Tater Time as well, our boy Junior Caminero. Cubs beat the Reds 7-3. Kyle Tucker left the game with a jammed finger. Ouch.
Ooh.
Ellie De La Cruz did homer. He played the game after finding out his sister had passed away earlier in the day. Condolences to Ellie there with that. Mariners beat the Twins 2-1. Randy Arozarena had the walk-off for the Mariners there, but Raleigh hit his 23rd homer. That leads the majors. He's got 23. Ohtani's got 22. Judge has 21. Schwarber has 19. Everyone else has 16 or less. What a race for the homers right now with all those guys in the mix.
Isn't he like a catcher? And he's got all these home runs?
The big dumper, they call Cal Raleigh. Your boy. Hey, he's been on fire.
I thought my dog Boston was the big dumper.
Yeah, no, it's and remember though, it's June now.
It's a close call.
Schwarber always goes off in June. That is his month.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Tom. It's like you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those 2 teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.